So 2K18 drops in another couple of weeks, which means it's almost time to binge domination for the first 30 to 40 hours again. That shit is absolutely unbearable and I am not looking forward to it. But this is deadass the most fun time of the year to me and my team. Everybody's team is going to be fresh, the simplest high-rated cards are going to feel rare when you get them, and everybody's team is a little bit different depending on the rewards that you pick, whatever game mode you're playing through. So here's a synopsis of all the news that we know so far about the mode, so you know how many 5-hour energies to have stocked. Now, all this information was received from the 2K18 MyTEAM developer blog as well as videos that they've put out as time has gone on, so I'll be reading and you can follow along, but here is the main parts that I'd pay attention to. This year in my team, coaches matter more than ever before. The coach you pick will determine what system your team runs, which is cool, and as you fill your team, you'll want to look for players that fit your offensive scheme for a more efficient offense. So that is introduction of chemistry, and we've all been waiting for that actually. That's hella dope, because now coach cards actually hold weight and mean something. Also, coaches finally have gem tiers ranging from bronze to diamond. As far as what boosts higher tier coaches may provide, we don't know yet for sure, but a key final thing to note are something they call strategy cards. Strategy cards can be played during timeouts and add a temporary bonus to your points of emphasis for a short time. When you are in a tight situation, call a timeout, set your points of emphasis, and burn a strategy card to help light up your opponent. So you mean to tell me we got manual equalizer now, nigga? Next up are their new main ways to play the mode, starting with pack and playoffs, aka their draft equivalent. You will compete in 5-on-5 games against other drafted teams through 4 rounds, with each round being best of 7 elimination in a playoff format. Win 4, you advance. Lose 4, you trash as fuck, GG. Each round you advance, you will redraft your lineup, and you can choose to use VC to hold on to someone on the team that you want to continue using in further rounds. And obviously, the further you advance, the better your prize. So this sub-mode is going to be the most anticipated because now it allows the people who don't want to spend money on the mode to still enjoy it to a good extent. Believe it or not, the friend that originally got me into my team in 2K13 gave up by the time 2K15 rolled around, just because for that exact reason. He did not want to spend money on the mode whatsoever. He wanted to be able to use the best cards but didn't have a way to use them, and now he has a way not only to use them but to build a team through using them, if that makes sense to you. It should. No, the Super Max game type will be the alternative mode to play the game online, which basically seems to be a more flexible way to make your team and just go play. To start, you'll compete in placement matches against randoms to gauge your skill, and then from there you'll be put into a league with others at your skill level. From there, a salary cap will be added and updated every new round, and it seems that they're bringing back an old concept they used in 2K13 where players would cost more or less VC depending how well they were playing that season, right? So players' costs on the cap will be updated mainly depending on how frequently they're being used online, so it's cool they're paying attention to that. And some of the cards that they presented in their graphics give us a visual of the concept. So peep the bottom right of these cards. That looks like 50 on the free agent or Onyx Giannis card, I think that is, 500 on the Pink Diamond Shaq, 400 on that sexy ass Diamond Pistol Pete that I'm gonna want, 300 on Amethyst Ginobili, 200 for Sapphire JR, 150 for Emerald Dame, and nothing for that bum 11 to 13th bronze nigga on the Nets. Also, take a look at that Ruby Paul Pierce too. It says 1 of 10,000. So apparently some cards will now have a count of how many are in existence. That's actually kind of cool. I want to have that more expanded on. I think that's in reference to their signature cards that they have. But that gives you an idea of how they may be approaching the rarity of some cards this year. And lastly, some cards could be so popular that their value increases to quote-unquote super max levels, so you'll have to balance stars with role players. And that confirms to me that hidden gems will be even more key this year, so y'all can look forward to me firing that series right back up as soon as the year kicks off. Now, to finish up, they placed some new emphasis on dynamic duos. I was hoping it got expanded to maybe big threes this year, but they'll be back this year with even more being added than last year supposedly. They've also added a very user-friendly way to see every dynamic duo's partner, and they've confirmed that if you pre-order the Legend Gold Edition, the $150 one, Jesus Christ, that's half my kidney, you get to start your team with a Ruby Heat Shaquille O'Neal and a Ruby Heat Dwayne Wade, and they are a dynamic duo, and the duo with Wade turns Shaq into an Amethyst player, and you get to start your team with that. Please, I'd like y'all to tell me in the comments if y'all think that bonus is worth it as a My Team head. $150 is a high price tag, but that might be the move to run through domination with. And as some last miscellaneous things to note on the way out, there will be schedule challenges for the players that were begging for more to do offline. You'll work your way through 900 unique challenges based on the 2017 schedule, and domination will now have a third tier to beat. Current teams, historic teams, and now the all-time franchise player teams that have been recently added to the game this year. That sounds like it will be a pain in the ass to handle with a fresh team going into the mode, but imagine the rewards that may be offered for beating that. And the developers were also kind enough to finally add some hella user-friendly auction house touches that include a maximum bid price, so your bids will automatically be updated on a card to maximum limits set by you. Cards like shoes and consumables can now be divided into stacks as high as 20, so that allows for more space in your auctions and general storage space in general for people that open a lot of packs. And now the auction host will be updated in real time, so you can see your auctions up moments after you post them. Thank fuck for that. I know finally this is something small, but it honestly means the world to me. You can now replace badges that were previously added to a card. Thank Christ, son, because I know I'm not the only one who would see like a diamond mellow with some dumb shit like flashy passer and bruiser, then wonder who the fuck was the retard that would ruin such a perfectly good card with those dumb badges. But for the most part, yo, that's all the juiciest news that has been given out about the mode so far. However, 2K's annual community team up event hasn't even happened yet, so there's a lot more to be learned that we haven't learned yet. But lucky for you, if you came across this specific video, I'll be going to that event. So if you have any questions you'd like answered about cards, or the mode, or the content to come in the future for this season, leave them in the comments and I'll ask them while I'm there and have them answered in videos after the event is over. I read all my comments, so I likely won't miss anything, and if I don't get your question answered, it's likely because they didn't give me an answer. So up to this point, how are y'all feeling about my team?